Okay, Chris, well, let's move on to headline number 5. Instacart has gone on an acquisition spending spree.
Woo!
Over the last week.
What a shock.
It has acquired not 1, but 2 companies in just a 6-day span, Chris. This first company it acquired, Eversight, is a pricing and promotions AI platform founded by Dave Moran, who some of you may recognize because we featured him on our Spotlight series not too long ago.
Yes, we did.
The second company is called Rosie, which offers independent grocers, branded e-commerce websites, and mobile app capabilities. Chris.
Yes, Ann.
What the heck is going on at Instacart?
I don't know. I mean, basically, Instacart's a VC at this point. Like, that's the best way I can put it. Instacart is a VC at this point. You add Smart Cart Caper into the mix, right?
Yeah.
The Smart Cart company they acquired.
Yeah.
And that's 3 companies, all of which are retail startups that have really zero connection to one another if you get down to how retail actually works. So, for example, doing gig delivery. Jesus.
Gig delivery.
Doing gig delivery.
Yep.
Yeah, man, I'm having trouble with the alliteration today, which is usually not my problem. It's usually my forte. Doing gig delivery, for example, does not make you better at pricing analytics or checkout free shopping. You exercising that muscle for the past 10 or 15 years does not help you in any way in those arenas. I want people to understand that. I could get on board with an e-commerce platform for grocers being synergistic to what Instacart has traditionally done.
Yeah.
But there are so many players in that space. I had never even heard of Rosie. And why, if I'm a grocer trying to wean myself off Instacart, as many people are, which I think you already kind of talked about at one point in this conversation or in sessions past, why would I go with Instacart? Like, why would I do this for my own e-commerce browser, my own e-commerce experience? There's tons of players out there. And to top it all off, we had 1010 data on our podcast this week, sharing the latest data on Instacart. We can't share it with you, but let me just tell you, like, we're going to put the pod out next week. You're going to want to listen to it because the story does not appear to be great, is what I would say. And it's just a further indication of why this seems like just a massive grasping of straws. And Instacart is just basically trying to act like a VC and hope it works.
Yeah, I don't understand. Like, I don't even understand if I'm a retailer or grocer right now, like, how I'm supposed to be thinking about Instacart. I still
don't
feel
either.
like they have so much internal, like, cohesion to happen that for me as a retailer, like, how is going to Instacart, paying them on top of what I would already be doing inside my own internal organization, hiring a pricing and planning and analytics company, hiring the, check out free technology person. Like, I mean, couldn't I get a better deal myself, like negotiating directly with these people instead of going to Instacart for what I hope will be somebody who's got their stuff together and can offer me this full range of offerings? Like, I don't understand why, as a grocer, I need Instacart as like my super app, and if I trust them to be a super app right now.
Yeah, and the super app's it's a good analogy, and who knows if they're actually going that direction. But like, to your point, like Eversight's a good company. We've spotlighted them, but like, it might just work on its own as a concept, but it has absolutely, this is what's important, it has absolutely nothing to do in a lot of ways with like gig delivery. It's just better pricing analytics for retailers, which fine, if you want to become a pricing analytics shop, Instacart, go ahead and do that. But I don't see how that. I just don't get the underlying premise of all these acquisitions.
Isn't it going to take time to build this? Like, that's why I talk about the super app. Like, you're not even, like, how can you confidently go into any retailer right now and be like, here's our suite of offerings?
So many connection points,
you don't even know how, like, those things come together in the kitchen. You're just, like, putting out a menu that keeps adding stuff and more stuff and more stuff. And I don't know. I don't understand.
I don't see a lot. There's so many questions this raises to me, and this is our last story, so we've got some time. The show's running pretty quick. Like I don't understand the board's approving all of this. Number one, like, okay, we're just gonna spend all this money in advance of the IPO, which at this point I'm wondering if it's even gonna happen this year, because like I just don't get these moves. Like it doesn't make sense.
It kind of brings me back to the first story, Chris, that we were talking about today, which is like, who are the people internally that are asking questions about what's going on? Like, if you're at Instacart, like, is anybody raising their hand? Like, what's the plan here? Where's this going? Like, how, especially like if you're leading teams that are now supposed to be like all of a sudden creating this big suite of offerings, like, where is my priority of just managing how the products get from retailer to end consumer? Like, where does that fall on the spectrum? Isn't that what we were Instacart to begin with? Like, I don't know. I just feel so much frustration for those employees of Instacart trying to figure out like where they belong in the world.
Yeah, you're buying these companies when instead you could actually like in theory be giving some of that money back or giving that money back to the initial shareholders or something. But like, yeah, it just I don't know. I lost. It's so damn unfathomable to me. And if I was a startup, I'd be calling Instacart right and left, being like, "Hey, you want to acquire me?" Because fair play to Eversight and Rosie, they probably got a good valuation, I'm guessing, because Instacart seems kind of desperate in this.
Yeah, it's weird.
You know?
I don't know.